So it looks like Valve has trademarked Dota Underlords, and this could be hinting at a new game from Valve. Obviously, Dota 2 has been absolutely huge for Valve, but the thing is, Valve has not had a lot of success with their most recent title, Artifact, which I will talk about in just a minute. Whatever this Dota Underlords thing is though, I think we'll hear a lot more about this at TI2 considering the type of audience it draws, and if I'm correct, I do believe that is where they also announced Artifact. Again, I'm not really sure of that, and maybe somebody can correct me below if I'm wrong. Though as of this moment we have little information on what Dota Underlords is, I do think we can take a few guesses on what it will be. If I were a betting man, I would personally say it's a mobile game, and while that may not be the sexiest announcement in the world, even though yes we all do have phones, sorry Diablo Immortal, it would however be a huge success. Right now the best MOBA experience on phones and tablets is Vainglory, a free-to-play mobile game. Dota 2 though is pretty much the golden standard for what MOBA games should be, unless maybe you're a League of Legends fan and then you might disagree with what I'm saying. We should however be able to agree that Dota is one of the best MOBAs, if not the best. And this is just me, but I do think that a Dota spinoff for mobile could actually end up being pretty cool, and like I said before, highly successful. I mean, I'm not really huge into mobile games myself, but you can emulate a point-and-click game with a phone probably better than any other device that I can think of. So if it's going to translate to anything, I think to phones, it could work out. I actually use a Galaxy Note 9, and being able to use my little pen stylus would be pretty cool. Anyways, of course, there's no guarantee that this is a mobile game, and I think another real possibility for this could be a virtual reality game. We know that Valve is working on some VR games anyways, and now that they revealed their extremely expensive VR headset and controllers, I think it's only a matter of time before we hear about their VR games as well. And why not make a spinoff to your most popular franchise? I mean, something's got to sell this $1,000 headset anyways. Technically that's not true because you have to buy the controllers as well. But anyways, financially it just makes sense. Though I'm not sure what a Dota spinoff would look like in VR. Though if you all have some ideas, you could post them below in the comments. My friend is a huge nut over Dota, and one thing he has always talked to me about is how they have some really cool characters in the world, and that they have great lore, kind of like what Blizzard does with Overwatch characters. Sure, the game itself may not be a story-driven experience, but they have still somehow made these characters come to life in other ways, so maybe they could explore a bit of this world in a spin-off. Another thing that I've heard a lot about is auto chess, but I'm not really going to get into all that. However, I almost feel like Valve may try to salvage Artifact, their card-playing game, by making Dota Underlords Artifact 2.0. They'll just change the name, throw some Dota characters in there, and try to sell it that way. Sure, this may not be the best option, but I wouldn't put it past them. Artifact has done miserably for Valve, and they could just try to reboot it under a different name. Sometimes this can help out, and I'm not talking about the name in specific, but if you look at something like Final Fantasy XIV, which was terrible when it first came out, and eventually Square Enix essentially rebooted that game, and now it's actually considered one of the best MMOs on the market, if not ever. So a reboot can work sometimes if it's done right. You still have to have the marketing behind it, and the thing about Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy is a huge name, and I think people are willing to forgive them because it's such a huge name. And I think Dota is really that way too, because Dota is huge. I don't see a lot of people talk about Dota on like forums and stuff, but Dota is one of the most successful games ever made, and it is absolutely monstrous in esports. So changing the name from Artifact to Dota Underlords might actually, it makes a little bit of sense. I'm still betting that this is a mobile game myself, personally, just because I think it makes the most sense in terms of Dota's gameplay. Like I said earlier, it translates to phones and tablets a lot more than anything else. But I wouldn't be shocked to see a Dota VR title either, or them just changing the name of Artifact to Dota. What about you all though? What do you all think that Dota Underlords is, and are you excited? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out.